Yeah. And look, when we do conduct a lot of our meetings, having the capabilities that we do have naturally a financial planner, an accountant, myself, as well as a lending specialist in the meeting to ensure that the client is the center of focus, right? And this is what we provide as an organization. And you've had many success stories where the clients have seen the benefit of that. I'd love for you to share that because it can give us a clear distinction between the value of actually having something as a one-stop shop, which is what they call it, or under one umbrella, compared to a client who may have various professionals working in silos.
Yep. No, really, really good point. I think one of our well-established practice owners, again, runs a radiology practice, several of them. We started working with him back in 2018. At the time, the structure that he had was fairly simple. And this is a business or a practice that's turning over $4 million per annum at that point in time. And he was a sole trader structure. And it literally just came down to, hey, the reason why he reached out was his accountant was retiring.
Yeah.
And so more than happy to help look at his structure and really identify some of the gaps. And plainly, I just asked, why didn't you seek this advice earlier? I thought my accountant was just doing the right thing for me. And, at the end of the day, I said, but your business has completely evolved. When you started with him, yes, absolutely, you were a sole trader.
Yep.
You're now running a multidisciplined radiology practice.
Yep.
With multiple radiologists working with you and over 20, 30 staff. I don't think that structure works anymore. And I guess no one asked the question. So it really comes back to, after meeting with that client, is just sitting down with him and understanding what are all of the goals that you're looking to achieve, not just now, but over the next 10 years. And that conversation then led to an introduction to one of our accountants where we reviewed his structures. Did he have the right structure now? No, he didn't. So we did quite a significant restructure. And yes, it did cost money, but the benefit, outweighed that over the long term, quite significantly so, where we now have a complete succession plan ready for him. He's got one practice with partners coming in and buying in to that practice and helping him manage that basically all on its own. And his main practice that he founded and started, many years ago, we now have a line of young specialist radiologists that are wanting to come and work, wanting to be an associate. But more importantly, we're just looking at now kicking off the first buy-in for one of those radiologists into his practice as well. And so it isn't about him being able to have the option to step back and slow down. He's actually using this as an opportunity to grow.
Yeah, wow.
Take more partners on and keep growing the business and the enterprise that he set out to. And this gentleman's in his late 60s. So, we're talking succession plan, but sometimes it's completely the other way, and just it's all about building, and maintaining that building, but also giving back to the next generation. And that succession and having a plan in place.
So break down who's actually on his team at the moment. You've mentioned an accountant, a financial planner. Who else is actually on his team working for him?
Excellent. So we've got a team of accountants for him. So we've got his head accountant, Mohan, and he has a team of accountants as well and bookkeepers that help support the day-to-day bookkeeping and compliance work for him. From an accounting and advisory perspective, we support him providing management accounts and CFO advisory work. From a planning perspective, we then support him with managing his self-managed super fund and his investment companies and investment trusts, which all kind of leads into the same room conversation that we have every year, right? Because you've got all of these entities which are producing income how do we distribute that income across different places to, again, continue building that wealth for him? When it comes time to, I guess, bringing on a new partner, we've got a very good team of solicitors that we work with as well, and we bring in the right solicitor at the right point in time. Again, not a generalist, but using the right specialists for the right periods of time. In this scenario, we've got a young radiologist that's looking to buy in to the practice. So again, working with a specialist medico lender that plays in this space to provide the lending that doctor needs to buy in is another good part of it. So, basically he's got at least 4 or 5 different advisors in the room at any given point in time. We would like to support him, at least monthly where we're in front of him, but doctors are very busy. So at a minimum, we do meet quarterly with his team. So his practice management team, with him, his partner, his family, almost have a family office meeting where we sit down and go through every aspect of his personal finances and of his businesses and work out the next critical decisions that we need to make over the next 90 days to keep moving forward.
Yeah, it's almost like a concierge service, right?
and that's what we need when you're a doctor with 101 things to do and still looking after your patients.
Yeah, that's incredible. Now that's a really good scenario that you've brought up, because it does give us a clear, distinct understanding of the importance of having the right professionals in the right room working towards a common goal. But you can clearly see in your scenario that the amount of ability to grow, right? Not a limiting factor in terms of having 2 conflicting views, but having one set agenda where everyone can surround and actually lift that individual up and his family, not just him as a practice owner, which I think is just amazing. And I always kind of go back to, my analogy of tennis, right? Roger Federer, probably, in my view, probably the best tennis player of all time. He's always got 3 to 4 core specialists in his team, in his corner, plus his family members. And even though it's, a sport where it's an individual sport, it's not just him that he thanks when he wins every Grand Slam. It's his team. Yeah. He always gives it back to the team who supported him and allowed him to build up his career to where he is today. And similar enough in the medical industry, you're good at what you do. You're great at, what your practice is or your hands. But there are so many different spheres of life, which is not necessarily your profession. Right. And always going back to that property space, right? I mean, a lot of people say, hey, look, we can do the property search ourselves. 100% you can, right? But can you still distinguish between a value, something of good value, compared to just picking something off that you see on realestate.com?
And I think it's all about having really good advisors in the room that are good at what they do.
Yeah.
Same as, any doctor, right? You can be really good at what you do, but you specialize in your field. Yeah. That's what I found is really good doctors are good at exactly what they do. So again, this is why, at Affluence 360, that's been our philosophy. It's about leading our clients towards lives of abundance. Yep. It's having every single advisor doing what they do really well. But it's about having a client at the center and us working towards those goals and those objectives. And then everything falls into place.